Hi guys, welcome back to Ferris Tutorials. Food, nutrition and health. CSEC past paper question for exam year 2022. And in this episode, we're looking at the final question of this paper, and it is question 6. It reads, define each of the following terms: bulk shopping, consumer credit. 3 marks. List 3 rights or responsibility of the consumer. 3 marks. Explain 3 ways in which exposure to external cuisine negatively impacts behaviors or attitudes of Caribbean people. 6 marks. Suggest 4 reasons why safe kitchen hygiene and safe food handling are important food management practices in the restaurant industry. 4 marks. And in total, for each question, you know that the total marks for each is 16 marks. Now let's dive in. Define each of the following terms, right? So 1 mark each. So we're looking at bulk shopping, consumer, and credit. Now, bulk shopping may be defined as the purchasing of goods in large amounts, typically at a discount, right? Now, as the name suggests, bulk, what comes to mind? Large amount, right? So just as how you may go to the wholesaler, you may purchase 10 or 20 pounds of flour versus like a 1 pound or a 2 pound, right? So in bulk shopping, you purchase a large amount of items, typically at a discount. The next term is consumer. Now, a consumer is a person who purchases goods and services for personal use. No, we all are consumers because from time to time we may buy products or purchase products for our personal use, right? And the next term is credit. Now, same thing that we may call in some countries, especially Jamaica, the same thing that we may say trust, right? So you go to the shop and you ask them to trust you like 2 pounds of flour, etc. It's the same concept. I'm not sure about the other Caribbean countries if that word is used, right? But the term credit is the ability of a customer to obtain goods or services before payment, based on the trust that payment will be made in the future. And those definitions were 1 mark each. Next question. List 3 rights or responsibilities of the consumer. 3 marks. Now, the rights or responsibilities, you may mix them together, right? So we're going to look at some rights or some responsibilities, and this question is asking for 3. We have more than 3, but you can always choose your favorite, right? Now, looking at the responsibilities, the first one, the responsibility to be aware now of the quality and safety of goods and services before you purchase them, right? That's your responsibility to be aware. Next, the responsibility to gather all the information and facts available about a product or service, as well as to keep abreast of changes and innovations in the marketplace. Next, the responsibility to think independently and make choices about well-considered needs and wants. The responsibility to speak out, to inform manufacturers and governments of needs and wants. The responsibility to complain and inform business and other consumers of dissatisfaction with a product or service in a fair and honest manner. The responsibility to be an ethical consumer and to be fair by not engaging in dishonest practices which cost all consumers money. And next, the responsibility to respect the environment and avoid waste, littering, and contribution to pollution. Now let's look at some of the rights. The right to satisfaction of basic needs. Now, citizens must demand access to essential goods and services such as adequate food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, public utilities, water, and sanitation, right? So you have a right to satisfy your basic needs. Next one, the right to safety and protection from hazardous goods or services. The right to be informed and protected against fraudulent, deceitful, or misleading information, and to have access to accurate information and facts needed to make informed choices and decisions. The right to choose and have access to a variety of products and services at fair and competitive prices. Also, the right to be heard, to express and represent consumer interests in making of economic and political decisions. The right to redress and to be compensated for misrepresentation, shoddy goods, or unsatisfactory services. The right to consumer education and to become a skilled and informed consumer capable of functioning effectively in the marketplace. Next question. Explain 3 ways in which exposure to external cuisine negatively impacts behaviors or attitudes of Caribbean people. 6 marks. Now guys, when we speak of external cuisine, we're talking about those cuisine or food items or dishes that are not within our country, right? So international, right, is another name that we could use. Right, now let us look at some of these responses. Now, Caribbean people may not appreciate their own, right? So when we're talking about their own, we're talking about local or traditional dishes. So they don't appreciate it, right? So that's a negative attitude or behavior. Now, what will happen? They'll stop purchasing local produce from supermarkets, grocery store, open market, which may lead to depreciation of food culture, which is our traditional cuisine, and also there will be a drop in the GDP, which is the gross domestic product. So that is the amount of money that stays within a country based on the purchases of local produce, right? Next point, external cuisine tend to have a higher caloric value, especially the fast food outlets, right? And the fast food outlets are becoming more and more popular within a particular country. Good. Now, being influenced by ads to purchase external cuisine may lead to Caribbean people developing certain lifestyle diseases, or we may say NCDs, which are non-communicable diseases. So those diseases that cannot be transferred through contact. Those diseases based on our eating patterns, such as it may be hypertension because we're consuming too much items that are laced with sodium or a high fat content, and they can also lead to cardiovascular diseases and other diseases such as it may be diabetes, etc. Now, next point, to create external cuisine, oftentimes certain ingredients have to be imported, right? So importing ingredients again will lead to a lack in GDP, low GDP, based on our first point that we look at. Additionally, to preserve the quality of these items, they are usually laced with additives, right? And additives will help to improve their flavor, which makes them delicious. And additives can also have negative effects, one of those being carcinogenic effects, because some additives may cause cancer, right? And also because of these additives, the food flavor, as we said, has improved, and you may find out that some persons binge eat, right? So they eat a lot, right? And that's a negative behavior that can also lead to health problems. Now, our final question, suggest 4 reasons why safe kitchen hygiene and food handling are important food management practices in the restaurant industry. And that's 4 marks. Now, Kitchen hygiene, and safe food handling practices are very important. And the reason for this is the main reasons are to prevent food contamination and also to prevent foodborne illnesses. Now, these can lead to a wide range of problems, such as loss of customer and sales. Now, no one would want to go back to a restaurant where they ate a food item and now they may be experiencing foodborne illnesses, right? So therefore there will be loss of customers and sale. Two, to prevent negative media exposure. No one wants to go to a restaurant that you hear it has a breakout of foodborne illness, persons getting ill, etc. They may also experience, to prevent lawsuits and legal fees, increase insurance premiums, right? Because they're being sued, they may have to do a lot of payout and damage control, and their insurance will increase. There may also be loss of reputation, right? So that restaurant is just known for something bad or good. Lowered staff morale. People may not want to come to work anymore, or the relationship at work is so bad because of the negativity. You may find that staff are not giving off their best service, and therefore that will lead to them they're not happy with each other, and therefore it may come off to the guests as well. It may be staff missing work because they're embarrassed for going to work, and it will cost the restaurant industry more money as well to train or retrain staff about safe food handling practices and also how to prevent foodborne illnesses. So the question asks for us to suggest 4 reasons why kitchen hygiene and safe food handling practices are important. And they're important for many reasons: to prevent loss of customers and sale, to prevent negative media exposure, to prevent lawsuits and legal fees, increase insurance premium, loss of reputation, loss of lowered staff morale, loss of staff missing work, also to having to spend more money to retrain staff. Good luck, guys.
You're awesome. You've made it to the end of the session. Did you find this video useful? Give it a like, subscribe, turn on your post notification bells, and also share with persons who you know will find this information useful. Thank you for making it Fair's Tutorials.